American Tower AMT Q3 AFFO declines, revenues rise year-over-year. American Tower Corporation AMT Quick Quote AMT Free Report reported third quarter 2022 consolidated adjusted funds from operations AFFO per share of $2.45 and AFFO attributable to AMT common stockholders per share of $2.36, down 3.2% and 5.2% year-over-year, respectively. The Zacks consensus estimate was pegged at $2.42. The company generated total revenues of $2.67 billion, in line with the consensus mark. Also, the top line jumped 8.8% year-over-year. Results reflect improving revenues across its property segment. American Tower also recorded decent year-over-year organic tenant billings growth of 2.6% and total tenant billings growth of 3.9%. Quarter in detail. Adjusted EBITDA came in at $1.64 billion, up 5.8% from the prior year period. The adjusted EBITDA margin was 61.5% in the quarter. During the reported quarter, AMT spent roughly $141 million on the acquisition of 114 communications sites and other communications infrastructure assets, including a data center in the Miami area, for $34 million. Property operations. Revenues came in at $2.61 billion, up 10.2% on a year-over-year basis. The operating profit was $1.67 billion, and the operating profit margin came in at 64%. In the property segment, revenues from the United States totaled $1.26 billion, up 2.5% year-over-year. Total international revenues amounted to $1.16 billion, rising 1.7%. Further, newly formed data centers added $194 million to property revenues, up substantially from $3 million in the prior year period. Service operations. Revenues totaled $61.6 million during the reported quarter, down from $85.4 million in the prior year quarter. The operating profit came in at $28 million and the operating profit margin was 46% in the September quarter. Cash flow liquidity. In the third quarter, American Tower generated $932 million of cash from operating activities, down 55.5% year-over-year. Free cash flow in the period was $468 million, plunging 73.6%. At the end of the third quarter, the company had $7.0 billion in total liquidity. This comprised $2.1 billion in cash and cash equivalents and availability of $4.9 billion under its revolving credit facilities net of any outstanding letters of credit. 2022 guidance. American Tower anticipates total property revenues in the range of $10,395 to $10,485 million, suggesting a year-over-year improvement of 14.6% at the midpoint. Earlier, the company targeted total property revenues in the band of $10,280 to $10,460 million. Adjusted EBITDA is projected in the band of $6,580 to $6,660 million, indicating a midpoint increase of 10.6% year-over-year. The prior guidance was in the band of $6,535 to $6,645 million. Consolidated AFFO is expected between $4,595 and $4,675 million, implying a year-over-year midpoint expansion of 6.0%. The same was earlier expected within $4,625 to $4,735 million. Further, AFFO for common stockholders is anticipated in the band of $4,430 to $4,510 million, suggesting midpoint growth of 4.5% year-over-year. Previously, AMT expected the same in the $4,455 to $4,565 million range. AFFO per share is expected in the band of $9.57 to $9.74, indicating an increase of 2.3% year-over-year. The Zacks consensus estimate for the same is currently pegged at $9.84. Capital expenditure is projected between $1.895 and $1.995 billion. Performance of other REITs. Crown Castle Inc. CCI Quick Quote CCI, Free Report reported third quarter 2022 AFFO per share of $1.85, beating the Zacks consensus estimate of $1.83. Reported AFFO per share compared favorably with the year-ago period's $1.77. The rise in site rental revenues amid elevated tower space demand aided CCI's year-over-year top-line growth. It also announced a hike in its quarterly cash dividend payment. Alexandria Real Estate Equities Incorporated. Our Quick Quote R. Free Report reported third quarter 2022 AFFO per share of $2.13, surpassing the Zacks consensus estimate by a cent. The reported figure also compared favorably with the year-ago quarter's $1.95. AR's results reflect decent leasing activity and rental rate growth during the quarter. Year-over-year improvement in the top line was noticeable. Boston Properties Incorporated's BXP Quick Quote BXP Free Report third quarter 2022 FFO per share of $1.91 outpaced the Zacks consensus estimate of $1.87. The figure increased 10.4% year-over-year. BXP's quarterly results reflect healthy leasing activity alongside year-over-year growth in the top line. It also carried out strategic acquisitions, redevelopments and dispositions during the quarter. The company revised its 2022 outlook for FFO. This little-known semiconductor stock could be your portfolio's hedge against inflation. Everyone uses semiconductors. But only a small number of people know what they are and what they do. If you use a smartphone, computer, microwave, digital camera or refrigerator and that's just the tip of the iceberg, you have a need for semiconductors. That's why their importance can't be overstated and their disruption in the supply chain has such a global effect. But every cloud has a silver lining. Shockwaves to the international supply chain from the global pandemic have unearthed a tremendous opportunity for investors. And today, Zacks' leading stock strategist is revealing the one semiconductor stock that stands to gain the most in a new free report. It's yours at no cost and with no obligation.